Hi, my name is Anish and I'm going to show you how to change a tire on a 2000 Mitsubishi Galant. Alright, this is a lug wrench. We're going to use this to loosen the lug nuts on the tire that keep the tire in place. So for this car, we're going to be using 13/16, and there's 4 sizes on here: 7/8, 5/8, and 3/4. Alright, the next thing you want to have is, it's called a wheel chock, and what this does is it prevents the vehicle from rolling backwards if anything goes wrong. So since we're going to replace this tire, we're going to put the wheel chock diagonal to the tire you're going to replace. So let me show you how to wedge it in. Alright, so you want to put the side with the ridges, these ridges, on the floor, like facing the floor. So you just wedge it in here. Just wedge it. And if you don't have a chock, that's fine. You could use a brick or, large rock or, anything like that. Alright, so sometimes when you're working on cars, you're on the floor a lot, and you have to see under the car. So if you have a mat, some kind of mat, you could lay it down on the floor. Just lay it down. So if your clothes don't get dirty, and they don't rip against concrete and stuff like that. It helps. So yeah. Alright, the next thing you'll need is a jack. Now a jack is what lifts up the car. And it's important because you need the car to be lifted up in the air to take the tire out. So the next thing, the final thing you'll need is a stand. Now this thing, you put it under the car, and it keeps the car in the same position that the jack had it in. So then you can take out the jack. Alright, let's change this tire. Alright. So you make sure it's tight, and then you want to loosen it, right? So it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. So I'm gonna go left, which is this way. See, left. You just do that. Oh, and make sure when you're taking off the tire or taking off the lug nuts that you do it in a star pattern. So look. So I'm starting from here, right? So how do I make a star? It's just boom, 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 boom. Easy. All right, so let's do this. Here. You gotta be careful. Just loosen it. You don't want to take them off because you just want to loosen them. Yeah, put in some elbow grease. Alright, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to show you how to use the jack. Alright, so you have 2 main components of the jack right here. The first, the top one, is you lift it up, and you see how this is lifting up? That's the purpose of this component. And then, if you want to put this down, there's a small little thing here. You align it right, and to put it down, you go left. And it'll go down, see? And then to tighten it, you go right. So if you want to put it underneath the car, you want to make sure it's all the way down, but make sure this is always tight, right? So it's tight, nice and tight. Alright, so we're going to put the jack underneath the car. Jack it up. Make sure this is tight at the bottom, so the jack doesn't fail. I'll show you exactly how I aligned it. Alright, so I'm going to show you exactly where I aligned it. And, okay, there's a metal bar at the bottom of the car, and a lot of times there's a groove. So you just line it on this bar right here, and there was already a groove there from previous work done on the car, and you just put this piece, make sure it's like, you know, half on this side and half on the other side, and you just jack it up. Alright, now that everything's in place correctly, we're gonna move the car up. So, do that. Alright, so you see how the tires can move freely now? Alright, so I jacked up the car, and I realize now that there's a bunch of brake dust that fell from the tire when I lifted it up. So, just so none of it goes in my driveway, I'm just gonna put this, you know, paper bag here. See all that? Look at all that. Yeah, that's from the brake pads. So yeah, I just put the paper bag there so my driveway doesn't get all messed up. Alright, next we're gonna put the stand up, or underneath the car. So we have the jack, put the stand right here, you see? So it holds up the car, and then you lower the jack slowly so the stand will hold up the car. And make sure when you put the stand underneath the car, you don't put it the other way. You don't put it this way, because then it's hard to release this. So you lift it up like that, and it's locked. And to unlock it, you just do that. So let's just lock it again. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to release the jack slowly. Yeah. Tighten it, and then just take this out. We don't need this anymore. Alright, so now we're going to completely remove the lug nuts. Before we loosen them, now we're just going to remove them. Alright, so this one's loose, you can just take it out with your finger. And sometimes when the lug nut is too tight, you want to use WD-40 to loosen it. It's a type of grease. Type of oil. Right here. See? WD-40. It's great stuff. It's like, works like magic. Alright. Once you have all your lug nuts, you want to put them in a safe place. So that, you know, safe place. Alright, so let's take this tire out. So you just pull it. Oh. And then, alright, so this tire is messed up. We're gonna go get a new one. Alright, so I'm gonna get my spare tire from my trunk. It's already out here. Yeah. So this is the new tire. Nice brand new spare tire. And you want to make sure that the tire has enough air, you know. For my car, I think it's around 32 psi. It helps if you pick the tire up from the bottom, see, and then you keep it in there, and then once it's on there, you get your lug nuts, and then just twist them on with your hands. you hold the tire, the bottom of the tire with your foot, like that. Then just put them on. So once they're on, screwed with your finger, you just use this to tighten them. Remember, righty tighty. So here's a cool trick. You hold it like this and just spin it. So it's easy. You don't have to do a lot of force. And also remember the star pattern. Also, gloves really help, especially in like 40-degree weather. It gets cold up in New Jersey. Alright, so I'm going to tighten them more. Alright, so now we have to jack up the car just a little bit so we can take out the stand. So we'll do that. Make sure this is tight. Always make sure it's tight when you're jacking up. And then you, just a little bit, you know, 1 notch is good, 2 maybe. And then you just take out the stand, or you could just go like this. Boom. Take it out, put it aside, and then you would slowly release. And then once the tire is on the floor, or once the jack is removed, you tighten the lug nuts again, because now you have the earth holding the tire and not the car, mostly. Alright, so now we're going to re-tighten it. Righty tighty. Alright. And that is how you change a tire.